Welcome back to the Manor. Julian McBain here, and we are back in Entropia Universe. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. I know what I'm doing, I promise. Not really. How's everyone doing tonight? Oh, this is probably one of the few times I will record a video on the same night that I live stream, because I am actually recording this on Tuesday about an hour and 6 minutes from when my live stream goes live. Not my favorite way to do things, but sometimes shit happens. Let's see, what did I want to get into tonight? I had a couple of topics, and you think I can think of it now that I've actually turned on the recording software? First off, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Manor. Please take a moment and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscriber at a time, so make sure you subscribe. And I want to welcome all the new subscribers. Like, this is fantastic. I really appreciate the fact that you've decided to join the channel. I'm really looking forward to growing. It's good stuff. If you haven't caught the live streams yet, we're doing Far Cry 3. And of course, I'm doing the shorts now, which have been an interesting adventure. So, basically means that I turn on, so if you're wondering how I do the shorts, right? Because obviously it's just like raw moments and raw gameplay. I don't do what a lot of people do and do like these huge recordings and find the little spots where you say something funny. I record all kinds of footage just from what I'm playing that day. Like whatever it is I'm playing, which it's usually Armored Core right now because Armored Core rocks. I'm in the middle of New Game Plus Plus. I just turn on the software for the duration of my gameplay, the recorder, and then I take some of my favorite moments from that, and that's becoming the shorts. And same with Far Cry 5. When I decide I need a break from Armored Core, which doesn't happen often, but does happen, I'll do the same for Far Cry 5, which has kind of become my default game. Like, in a lot of ways, Armored Core is now, but Far Cry 5 is far less frenetic. And sometimes you just need a break from that, you know what I mean? Far Cry in general is far less frenetic, and yeah, it has its moments. The boss sequences in particular. But even so, it's a lot. You don't have like 500 missiles raining down on your head that you have to dodge. Right? The things that make Armored Core Armored Core. So, that's kind of the plan for that. It's an experiment. Like I said, as you all know, those of you who have been with me a while, I have never done shorts before. Never. And I was actually, initially I was kind of opposed to the TikTok style that the shorts require, but I kind of see the appeal to it because I've been watching other people's shorts, and they're actually, a lot of them are really good. They've got 60 seconds, they can make 1 point, usually it's a poignant one, or they're displaying like one sequence of events without having to like dig through the what's the word I'm looking for? A longer video. So, I think it's going to be an interesting experiment. And not only that, but it's easy to get a buffer for those. So, like, as of right now, I already have enough to cover into the middle of next week. Which is good, because my weekends coming up are going to be kind of tight. But it also doesn't take, like, I spent an hour and made 10 shorts out of the existing footage I have. So, that's one. If you've been watching the shorts, I would love a comment on your opinion on those shorts, because like it's a totally new medium. I have no clue what I'm doing. And kind of like when I started in Entropia Universe, the only way I'm going to learn is y'all teach me how to do it. And by that I mean comment and stop one step short of bullying. If you could, I won't bitch too much if you do bully me, because that's kind of what people do to their favorite content creators. But actually, on that note, in Entropia Universe content creators, that is not the case. Like, by and large, Entropia Universe, and I think this is one of the hitting gold pieces of Entropia Universe, and this is actually the part I wanted to get into. Entropia Universe, in my opinion, has quite possibly the best player community on the planet. Like, the toxicity is extremely low. People interact with each other. They're polite. And maybe it's because real money's involved. But, like, the only place I see any real douchebaggery happen is at the PvP oil fields. Which is kind of the point, right? Like, if you're going to go into a situation where being an asshole is kind of the point, okay. And I mean, does PvP happen in, like, Orthos from time to time, or in space when the pirates show up? Yeah, of course it does. But, like, the EU community, as a group, man, I loved it. Like, when I posted my first video back, like, in Entropia Universe, all of the other Entropia Universe creators, or I should say the bulk of the Entropia Universe creators, a lot of people who got me into Entropia Universe, including Serial Overdrive, in particular, was responsible for me actually jumping into Entropia Universe, and Lore Spade too. But these creators who I find are who I followed got me into it and made me decide to become a creator myself. Everyone piled in and said, "Hey, welcome back. So glad to see you're back in Entropia Universe." And it fills my heart. It really does. Like, the fact that we have a gaming community like this, and it's friendly and cordial, and, like, I go hang out on Bonnie's in Bonnie's chat on her streams, and all of us are having a good time. Like, these are the things that make Entropia Universe. It's why I come back all the time. Like, when it comes to the gameplay of Entropia Universe, right? Let's be facing it. It's pretty primitive. And I'm not saying that to insult the platform. It is what it is. The game's older than World of Warcraft, and it survived World of Warcraft. Not many MMOs can say that. Like, it's older than Second Life. It's older than WoW. It survived WoW when so many other MMOs, skulls are on spikes outside of WoW's cave, right? I'm going to borrow from Yahtzee Croshaw for that, but it's true. Like, other MMOs can't compete. The only ones that have really been able to compete are usually from IP that way outdates World of Warcraft, like Elder Scrolls. ESO survives because there is a huge cult following of Elder Scrolls players that want that kind of content, that want it in the Elder Scrolls universe. And, I mean, to be fair, ESO is very well made. I mean, how many people have 10,000 hours in Skyrim? Don't lie. I know at least one person watching this stream on here has over 5 digits worth of hours in Skyrim. And for once, it ain't me. Because I've never gotten much farther past Whiterun. I know, I'm lame. I don't know, I had a hard time getting into it for some reason. I even tried VR, which, by the way, Skyrim VR, way different. The gameplay itself isn't hugely different, but just the experience is different. And that could make the difference for me. And I might try doing some Skyrim VR this winter when it's cold enough to where, I can actually run the VR headset without cooking the entire house. Because that's the thing about VR. During the summer, because of the limitations of our air conditioning, the way we had to air condition the house, because I live in an older house, like, it does not have central air at all. We have to use window units. We have to be strategic about it. So, because of the way that the room that I stream in faces, I have opted not to have one of the window units in that room. Because the window, the exposure for that lets me see out into the field. And during certain hunting seasons, I like to know if there is something in the yard. Actually, I like to know anyway, but still. Not to mention, that's where my only source of sunlight comes from. Except at like 4 in the afternoon. So, because of that, it's hard to run the VR headset during the summer for long periods of time. I'd be limited to like maybe 1 hour play sessions. Half an hour is more likely before it gets too hot. On the other hand, during the winter, I live in Vermont. It gets very cold up here. So we open the window and it ventilates the room. And let me tell you something. When it is like 10 degrees Fahrenheit and your window is open and it is still 80 degrees in the room, then 10 degrees outside and 80 degrees inside and the window's open. That tells you how hot that thing runs. And I've got a PC designed to run that hot. Like, I've got an Asus ROG. Those are purpose built to be able to run the most ridiculous rig cooking games. Like, this is the kind of PC that they designed the CryEngine for, if it was the same generation. If for those of you who are old enough to recall, and I'm putting a date on myself now, CryEngine, like the original Far Cry, was designed for a computer that had not been designed yet. It was literally considered the trial by fire for computers. And if your computer could take it, you were considered top-level gamer. Like, that was the shtick. Okay, that was the purpose behind Far Cry 1. To see how many gamers could they get to download a program that deliberately cooked off their computer. I'm being facetious, of course, but it's not entirely untrue. So yeah, anyway, tangents. Like, Entropia Universe's build is primitive. But it's functional, and it functions well, and it's tight. Like, the combat mechanics, it's basically a point-and-click adventure game, right? You tab target, you hit F, you run up, and I'm hands-off. I'm not touching anything. Like, that's de minimis gameplay. But the skill comes in not only in these skill points. How much health do I have now? 180, cool. But also in figuring this stuff out, the markets. Obeldu said it best. It is quite possibly the best economic simulation in the world. And I've even gone so far as to say it's an economic non-simulation, because it's art mimicking real life. But, I mean, from a technical perspective, Obeldu's right. It's a simulation, because at any time, Mindart could turn off the servers, and, well, whatever money we put in, we're out. And that's just the long and the short of it. So, yeah. Yeah, the gameplay's primitive. Yeah, the graphics are dated, which, despite being dated, they still look this good. And we've had some graphical updates, but they are dated. There's only so much that the CryEngine can do. It's kind of like Fallout 4. The graphics were dated when they released the game. Well, this game is much older than that. It is aged particularly well. But you only have so much you can work with. I think that the UE5 update is going to be a huge game changer. That's still several years down the road. I know that Mindark does have a team working on it, but it is slow work. Like, I've worked in UE5 for fun. Like, I've never had a job programming. I never will. I don't have the patience for that shit. And don't get me wrong, I love level building. I think level building is huge fun. Everything else, like, I wanted originally to be like an engine maker, and I took 2 programming classes and discovered I just, no, never gonna happen. I don't want it to happen. I work in finance. I never want to quit that. I find it way more fun than programming. Guys, if there are any software engineers in my audience, particularly those who work on games, but any type of software engineering, I 100% respect everything you do, because you have way the hell more patience than I have. Because I spent 4 hours trying to make a door open, and I about deleted the whole file. And that was years ago. I took one programming class. I was trying to make, what was it? It was actually a fairly simple calculation, and I could not make the code work. I couldn't get the code to work. Couldn't figure it out. I followed all the instructions. Like, this was an early one too, so like they gave us the code to copy paste. They were basically like, this is what it should look like. Try doing this yourself. Do this experiment. Do that experiment. I couldn't make the original code work. And I documented everything. Like, I threw the code in the engine. I took a screenshot of the code. I compared it to the original. I threw all that to the professor. The professor actually gave me a pretty decent grade. Because I commented the shit out of the code. But, oh my god. I just, yeah. I do not have the ability to do that, guys. So, all the respect in the world to the people who make this work. Because, to me, it's magic. So, yeah. But that's it. Like, that's what Entropia Universe's true secret is. And I know that there's a cliche, there's the secret of power and friendship. No. Do you know how hard it is to build a community? Like, think about the world today. There was a time when you could step out your door and just strike up a conversation with your neighbor. That does not happen very often anymore. Like, hardly at all. I'm lucky, the one neighbor I have, we've been good friends with for a very long time. So, like, if we're having a fire out back, he comes over and joins us, and we all have drinks, and it's cool. Or if he's having a fire, we can go over, same thing. But, like, that's rare. That doesn't happen anymore. On the other hand, here in Entropia Universe, if you pull up on someone, and you're like, hey, you mind if I join you hunting? As long as they're not, like, purpose hunting for something specific, and even then it's a 50-50 shot, there's a good shot they're going to say, sure. Grab a rifle, grab a sword. Let's hunt some giant-ass crabs for bone-in meat. Which I still don't know how the fuck you get bone-in meat from a crab. Can someone explain that to me? So yeah, that was really what I wanted to talk about. It's just, I just, this community, and I never really, I don't even think I appreciated it as much until recently. And it struck me as I was watching Bonnie's stream the other day. Like, we're all in there, there are games going, we're chatting, we're bantering. And I mean, I also go to the Nag's Head from time to time, and that's what it is. We're all chatting, it's a great time. And I'm like, everyone in here is an Entropia Universe player. There is not one person in this chat I would not be thrilled to meet in real life and just hang out with for a while. Not a one. And there are devs that do that, are like that too. And in fact, on my screen right now is DME. Dark Moon Enigma, who is one of the virtual sense, so Monria, Toulon, she's the community person for virtual sense. I don't know if that technically makes her a dev. She works for the dev. DME, if you happen to watch this piece of content, you tell me exactly if you consider yourself a dev or not. Either way, she's awesome. That's just the way it is. Like, she gets in, she makes sure everyone's happy. If there's problems, she escalates it. She runs the fleet ship. Like, the devs are part of the community. How many games are there where the developers are part of the community and actually listen when you say, hey, that building over yonder's floating? That's a thing that actually happened. I found a building on Cyrene that was actually 2 avatar heights above the planet's surface. And I sent a picture over to one of the devs, and they're like, ah, we'll fix that. Thank you. So yeah, I'm just, man, if you play Entropia Universe and you do not participate in the community, you're really missing out. Like, you don't have to participate super actively. Like, I'm not in chat a huge amount. It's not because I'm just, usually when I'm playing Entropia Universe, it's either super early in the morning, I ain't had my first coffee finished yet, or it's like right now when it's 8:13 at night, I'm still not done working because I still have a live stream to do. And brother, I am tired. Like, right now, I'm strictly working on adrenaline. I cannot wait to pour my first rye before I start Far Cry. But that's it. That's what the community brings. That's what this is about. And I hope everyone that plays Entropia Universe, I mean, even I know players who will stop playing the game, but they'll jump in the game just to chat. Like, that's what this place means. That's why this game is so important. That's why this platform, I've said it before, I prefer to call it a platform over a game. That's why this platform is so damned important. And I really think that, whoa, I got a blueprint. Blueprints. OS flat fat M7. That wasn't the one I got though. Basic auxiliary sensor. Huh. Maybe that was the one I got. Oh no, someone linked that blueprint. Oh my god, I'm a dope. I don't know where this one came from though. I don't remember getting this. So it's from Cyrene. I just don't know what it dropped off of. So if someone saw it drop during one of my videos, would you please kindly let me know what I got it off of? Because I can't fucking remember. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, guys. That's all I got for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. And as always, I really appreciate the support, and we will see you in the next one.